I start even not from you, but from the audience. Okay?
Are we supposed to talk when he goes past us?
Okay. You could. So, Professor Doob, all us are very happy that you have been able to come here, and this is a unique opportunity for us to listen to some of your memories. So, especially Host Martingale. You are responsible, I think.
I thought I might remark on how the first name that I've used for martingales arose. When Banach was writing about certain kinds of spaces, he delicately called them espace B, B spaces, and the mathematical community took the hint and named them Banach spaces. When I started talking about what are now called martingales, I knew about this history, and I wanted to say that these were families of random variables with a property, and then the question was what letter. Well, I chose property E because knowing the Banach history, I decided that property D would not to be overly immodest, so I picked the next letter in the alphabet, which was E, and of course everybody assumed that the E stood for expectation, which would have been logical, but happened to be wrong.
Okay, but you told me also about semi-martingales. Why semi-martingales?
Well,
which is, of course, nowadays is used the term in completely different sense.
Of course. When I was writing my book, every evening about 6 o'clock my children would listen to Superman on the radio. And I knew very well, because I had Radeau around me when I was a student, I knew very well about subharmonic and superharmonic functions, and that would have been proper. But a sub-martingale sounded so funny, and super-martingale sounded so funny after hearing about Superman, that I called what are now called sub-martingales, I called semi-martingales, and stupidly called the super-martingales lower semi-martingales. And it was all because of Superman, and that shows you should never have children or never listen to the radio. Choose your own moral there.
Yes. So I hope, or not I hope, I think that my suggestion to call certain measure various processes super process. Also,
obviously, you never had children who watched Superman on the TV.
Yeah.
Now this is my law.
Okay. Now, this is not your first visit to Ithaca.
No, I was on sabbatical in 1949, 50 that is.
I have in my possession a tape dictated by late Dansker, who tells maybe if we have a chance I can play a part of it, but of course it is for 2 hours, so this is impossible. But he said, let me just summarize what he said, that this was the first time a rather big grant from American government was given to mathematicians, and in particular to probabilists. And Feller got this grant, and he has used this rather cleverly, assembled here a lot of interesting people, and the list really sounds very impressively. So who was at that time here?
Well, of course I was here, and of course Feller was here, and Kai Lai Chung was here. This was my first time I ever met Kai Lai Chung, and I was suitably impressed by his well-known character, which was even stronger then than it was later. And of course Dansker arrived, and his thesis was not quite done, or perhaps it had been accepted but not ready for publication. And he's conferences with Feller, and Feller, who was never a quiet type, would lecture him, and we could hear his voice resounding all over Whitehall. And in to Dansker, and he was telling Dansker what Dansker should have in his thesis.
I see. Do you remember anything, or this was a different period of time?